on by the DOJ for a year with no charges ever brought against him. The Justice Department would later admit that at least 2 of the FISA warrants used against him were not valid. Carter, thank you so much for being here this morning. Tell us about that. You were spied on for about a year. James Comey signed 3 of those warrants to do so. How did that impact your life? I want to understand more why this is a criminal investigation into these 2 people.
Well, I think as per that quote you had from the senior administration official from your interview at FBI headquarters a couple months ago, there have been some ongoing revelations in terms of all the wrongdoing that happened. And unfortunately, and as the director then said, we still don't have all of the correct information. So unfortunately, look, my life was essentially completely destroyed. But there are so many other dimensions beyond this right now. And I think that's leading to a lot of the major controversies. And frankly, Maria, it's leading to a lot of the problems. He alluded to the problems in U.S. federal courts. Well, those problems have only escalated. And they continue in the same court that I've continued to litigate this on for, the same courthouse I've been litigating this for basically 8+ years now.
Well, Carter, I mean, you say your life was pretty much destroyed. I mean, look, you were spied on. What does that mean? They were looking at your emails, your texts, your phone calls. What does that mean when you say your life was destroyed? Because, you know, I mean, they made a decision to spy on then candidate Trump and then President Trump. How were you impacted? You are an American citizen. Look, you are a patriot. You actually worked with the CIA to try to take down bad guys. So what did they do to you, Carter?
Well, and that's the biggest thing, Maria. Beyond what they did specifically to me, it really had so much impact on so many other lives. There were countless lives that were destroyed. And, you know, they're often referred to as the remnants, all the people that were at the center of this Russia hoax, immediately targeted and really suffered so much damage for basically all of the years following the Obama-Biden's first administration, from which ended in 2021, thankfully. So, and unfortunately, it continues to escalate, as you've been discussing earlier in this show, in terms of the ongoing conflicts in Europe, because the lack of truth, Maria, has only led to further escalations and damage to the United States' relationship in the world.
Yeah, I mean, look, you say the lack of information, and I think that's one of the things that some MAGA supporters of President Trump are angry about. They wanted to know more about Jeffrey Epstein. Is that what you're referring to?
Well, partially. I mean, that's important, but there's so much beyond that. And look, I mean, per that interview you had at FBI headquarters, unfortunately, related to that same government agency, on March 25th, there was an order and a presidential memorandum from the White House signed by President Trump demanding immediate declassification of materials related to that. And in that interview, you showed a clip of, unfortunately, he talked a little bit about sending stuff to Congress, you know, the dribbling out to Congress. Unfortunately, our court system remains completely broken at the district court level in Washington, but also at the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia as well, the second highest court in the United States. Well, so it's an ongoing problem that continues to have serious repercussions for President Trump and our country, beyond for, you know, the destruction it's done to me.
Because many of the players are still there, right? Wasn't it Judge Boasberg who gave Kevin Kleinsmith a slap on the wrist for not telling the truth about who you were and what you did? And in fact, now it's Judge Boasberg again trying to stop President Trump's agenda 10 years later.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. And unfortunately, as you and I discussed the night after my Crime Victims' Rights Act testimony in Judge Boasberg's court. All I had asked for was to be named an amicus in the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, the totally broken court system which remains. But unfortunately, nothing's been done. And it's only escalated with that same case going up to the federal appellate court there, and it only continued and only got worse, which had to get reformed at the Supreme Court. So we'll see how that turns out.
Carter, thank you. We're going to be watching this as closely as we have been, certainly. Former Trump campaign advisor Carter Page.